28. Ron, always a pleasure. How are you?
It's all here. Looking forward to this one.
All right, let's get right into it with our leadoff story. So the New England Patriots have traded running back Sony Michel to the LA Rams for the 5th and 6th round pick, but it could end up a 4th. I guess there's some legality now that's actually not going to happen. I think it's a 5th and a 6th rounder. Which team did better in this deal?
Well, we don't know yet because we don't know what the Patriots get for that.
Yeah.
But so I have to say right now, LA, because they filled the hole with somebody that's very capable.
Yeah, I mean, but if you look at what he's done with New England, I mean, in his 3-year career, 2,292 yards, 14 touchdowns, 26 receptions. I mean, 258, 1 touchdown. The only time he was actually really beneficial to this team was in 2018 when he was a rookie in that, playoff run where they got, basically in 3 games, he had 336 yards, 6 touchdowns, scored the only touchdown against the Rams in that Super Bowl that actually ended up helping them win. So, I mean, when you talk about it from a productivity standpoint, I mean, he's been often injured. So it's not like he's been on the field. I don't know. I don't know if this is a big loss because I think they were so deep at running back. I don't know how much time he was going to have.
Yeah. That's the thing. We talked the running back situation last week, how a couple of guys have stepped up. And I was thinking maybe, somebody else might have been.
I'm sorry, you broke up there. One more time.
So basically what I said, we talked about this, and I thought it was going to be somebody else losing their job, about to be Sony Michel instead of that someone else.
Yeah, I just think they're deep at running back. I don't know. We'll talk about it in our pick and roll, but I'm not sure this is a big loss for the New England Patriots. I really don't.
No,
I think
it's not, but it's a great pickup for the Rams.
I think it helps the Rams. They lost Cam Akers for the year. So, again, they needed a running back. So it made sense from their standpoint. I'm not sure he's going to be, it's 17-game season. I think he'll probably play 10. That would be my estimate. If we were doing predictions right now, I'm going 10.
Yeah, well, you might be right on that, but it is a good pickup for the Rams. That's going to stabilize offense because, I mean, let's face it, you don't want Stafford having to throw the ball all over the place because we already saw that in Detroit.
So let me ask you this question: are they contenders with the Bucs right now with this move? They were considered. I mean, they've got the number 1 defense in the league. So think about what they can do now. They can run the ball. They can play excellent defense. Stafford's an upgrade from in the passing game. They could considerably be contenders for the championship against the Bucs. Just on their defense alone.
Picture. It puts them in the picture. Because I wasn't sold if it was just for having to throw the ball, I would say no. So if doesn't pan out for them, they're going to be in trouble. They will probably make the playoffs, but they won't go deep. But with Michel there, it gives them a running game and it gives them an option. So that way, all the load isn't on Stafford's shoulders on offense, and that's going to help them tremendously. And then, of course, the defense is just ridiculous.
Yeah, they got 2 of the best players on defense. I think Adam Michel kind of fits what they want to do is run the ball, be a solid running team, throw when they need to throw, play great defense. Could equal a championship. And we know Tom doesn't like defenses in his face. So if they can get there and face them, there's a really good opportunity for them.
Right. And that's going to be a lot of it depends on health.
All right. Let's move on to another move that the New England Patriots made. And that is they acquired cornerback Shaun Wade from the Baltimore Ravens for a 7th-round pick in 2022 and a 5th round in 2023. What does this move say about the New England Patriots secondary currently?
It makes me think that Gilmore is not coming back.
I agree.
And that's too bad because
Jonathan Jones, yeah.
I just think that with Gilmore there, I think the Patriots are a contender to go to the Super Bowl. With him not there, yeah, they can still be a playoff team, but I don't see a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think there must be something wrong with Gilmore that is undisclosed because it doesn't make sense that they're not even talking about contracts or we haven't heard anything about it. Jonathan Jones limped off this week with an injury. It's not as serious, so he should be back. But I think this is one of their weaker positions on the team. Again, when we do our pick and roll, we'll discuss it. But I think the fact that they signed a rookie first round, a 5th round draft pick from Baltimore just goes to show that they're a little concerned now that they need help. They need help at that position.
Yeah, look, he doesn't, Bill Belichick does not make a move unless there's a reason. So, I mean, this is not just, let's try to upgrade, our bottom tier. This is to cover a hole, basically. That's what this is. It's all about covering a hole.
All right, you jumped the gun here. The next story we're going on is to the Tennessee Titans. And 9 players on the Tennessee Titans have tested positive for COVID-19, including starting quarterback Ryan Tannehill. How concerned would you be as a Titans fan if you had to worry about, the upcoming season and you may already have some guys out week 1? Well, Mike Vrabel as well is on the COVID list, so the head coach.
Yeah. And if I'm a Tennessee fan, I'd be very concerned because it isn't so much the first 9 people that are on that list. It's going to be the next 9 people on that list because that is going to cover maybe into 2-3 weeks. Yeah, I'd be concerned because today, it's Tannehill in week 1. But that's, I mean, who's it going to be next week? Is it going to be your defense? Is it going to be, your offensive line? I mean, this is the thing that you have to worry about. And I believe I would expect the team to be fine or something. I know they have those new COVID rules. I remember them off the top of my head, but they could be facing some fines and stuff because
I think the biggest concern would be the NFL did rule that if you don't have enough players to play the game, they're not moving the games. It's an automatic forfeit and it's a loss. Right. And neither side gets paid. So, this is already preseason. We're already discussing it. There's got to be a concern from the league standpoint. And then as a team, I mean, 9 players and, some members of the coaching staff, right. You start to question, what their protocol was. I know last year they were one of those teams that was practicing at like a high school facility, even when all the rules were, in place for them not to do that. So was this another similar situation where they just weren't following the rules? I mean, I didn't get all the details yet, but it's still kind of concerning that it's the same team. Yeah,
well, now there's a history with this team now, right? And this is what the NFL put in those COVID rules in place for. And it's really the team's responsibility to make sure that everything is okay. And they're just not doing it. I'm sorry, they're just not doing it. You don't think Bill Belichick and Andy Reid and all those guys are saying, hey, look, you need to follow these rules for COVID because if not, I'm going to replace you. Simple. It's basically pretty simple because now these are 9 guys that have to get removed and you have to replace those 9 players because you can't forfeit games. You can't do it.
Yeah, and again, what do you replace 9 players in? You know what I mean? A week. I don't know if that'll happen. Some more big news. A couple of quarterbacks were named as starters for the upcoming season. So the New Orleans Saints named Jameis Winston the starter. Jacksonville Jaguars named Trevor Lawrence, and the Denver Broncos named Teddy Bridgewater as their starting quarterback. Of these 3, which one do you feel was the best decision?
That's a good question. I think it has to be Denver. I think Bridgewater is by far the better quarterback over there, and I think that was one that they had to make. And I'm surprised that it took this long to figure that out. But yeah, that has to be the best one, because without a quarterback over there, they're in trouble, because they'll finish last place in that division. They might anyway, which I think they will, but.
Save it for
September 7th. At least now they have some hope.
Save it for the previous show on September 7th. I honestly like the Winston move. I just feel like it gives them another option with Taysom Hill. If you put Taysom Hill as your starting quarterback, Winston can't do what Taysom Hill can do, and that's kind of be that diversion, that guy that can throw, run, play wide receiver, do it all. So it still gives New Orleans some options. I don't know about the Jags one either, because I'm a little concerned with the fact that Trevor Lawrence just has not looked good. Their line is completely beat up. I think that this kid's going to get destroyed, and it's just going to cause him to revert into a worse quarterback. I probably would have started Minshew.
Remember the Oakland Raiders a few years back? What was his name that came? DeMarcus Russell, yeah. This has all the warning signs of that right now. All those warning signs are there. They're going to destroy this quarterback, and we had talked about it the other night. And they should put Minshew in there, suck it up, let the kid learn until you get some protection for him, because that kid's going to get killed. And a rookie that has to make quick decisions, oh my God, this is going to be a complete disaster for Jacksonville. And they're probably going to destroy their quarterback.
And let's look at it this way. Rookie head coach. I know he's coached in college, but you're talking about a pro game now, and you can see that there's some struggle. And what his expectations were coming into the league and what he thought he was going to be able to bring, it's not happening.
Well, he's also making the biggest mistake, too, as a rookie coach. You're falling to peer pressure of all the fans pressuring him to start Lawrence, and it's a mistake. You think somebody that's been around the league for a long time, and I'll throw out Belichick's name out there again.
Big Bell.
Do you think that he's going to get pressured to play somebody? No, he's going to play who the hell he wants, and he's not going to. The fans aren't coaching the team, but in Jacksonville they are.
So that is an interesting point that you brought up about the Patriots. We're going into Sunday night with the matchup against the New York Giants. And Bill has kind of swayed a little bit on who his starting quarterback's going to be going into the season. Do you think that we may see Mac Jones week 1? I mean, I know we weren't going to discuss this, but as you brought it up, it might be poignant.
Look, okay. What they've done with Cam this training camp and these preseason games is completely different than how they're handling Mac Jones. With Cam, they're playing little safe routes and stuff like that, and they're not giving him something to think about. Some of the bigger plays that is a lot of timing and a lot of check downs, and Mac Jones is throwing everything at him, and he's handling it. The decision making is what's starting to sway Bill, because he now knows that Mac Jones has a better game than Cam Newton does right now, in this point in Cam's career. And he doesn't want to go with a rookie, and we all know this. But at what point will he come in? Does he start Cam at the start of the season and then say, "Oh, Tampa Bay game, the Patriots lose Tampa Bay," say that, do you take him out then and then go with the rookie?
Yeah,
So
to me,
there's a
it's week
lot of
5.
when is he going to start, not if. Because he's going to be in there. And it's clear that, there's things starting to be in place that it looks like Mac Jones is going to have this job this year at some point.
I think we're going to have to see how week 3 preseason, who starts, could be probably telling. So if Mac Jones starts that game against the Giants, there's a good chance that he's starting week 1.
Yeah, and he's probably going to start.
Yeah, if Cam just started, then I think he's going to stick with Cam. And to me, it makes no sense to have him go against Brady week 4. I would just wait.
Right, and that's the point I'm making. I don't think Bill Belichick wants to put Mac Jones versus Tom Brady because, unless they win the game, and I don't think they will win no matter who's at quarterback, unless they win that game, then it's a lose-lose situation. Because then the fans start chirping, then the press starts chirping. It's like, oh well, Belichick chose the wrong guy because Mac Jones couldn't get it done. You don't want to put that kid in the situation. You don't even want him up against Brady until he has to.
Are you accusing the Boston media of being tough on players? I don't know. I think that's what you're going.
No, probably not as tough as us, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll be at Bill's. Yeah, we'll be talking to Bill if he makes that decision. But we'll have to see how Sunday goes, and then we go from there. Let's move on to our triple play. Our triple play, I knew you were going to like this one. That's why I did it, because you're my hockey guy, and we haven't talked hockey in a while. So we got a couple of hockey things going on. So I figured this would be fitting just to get some hockey, and we need some NHL hockey right now.
I miss it so much.
It's coming. It's coming, buddy. Believe it or not, we're in September next week, which is insane already to think about. You know what I mean?
I know.
It's we're almost the year's almost over. Where'd it go? 7 months in, by the way, Sports Unfolded. How great is that?
I know. I was thinking of that today, episode 28.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
7 months, my friend. All right. Yep. So who out of these 3 all-time winningest goalies in NHL history, which one would you start, bench, and cut? So the choices are Martin Brodeur, Patrick Roy, and Marc-Andre Fleury. I actually go first this week because you were first last week. So I'm going to go first here and say that my first pick to start would be Martin Brodeur, 3-time Cup winner, 691 wins. What impressed me to 125 shutouts, 4-time Vezina Award winner. So again, best goalie in the league 4 times. Out of these, I probably said that wrong, didn't I? Venzia.
I love all your pronunciations of hockey stuff. I love them.
Venza. I don't know. What is it? Venzia? Vezina. I was close. I got it. Vezina. I would put on my bench Marc-Andre Fleury. So again,
God.
He's a 3-time Cup winner, 492, 67 shutouts, 1 Vezina Award. But I also think that he's got more in him, so he may win a couple more.
Okay, so what's the stats on Patrick? The stats on the other 2.
Yeah,
so give me some stats.
I'm getting it. And Fleury was the one that got traded to the Blackhawks, correct?
Yep.
Which you already said they're probably going to make it to the Stanley Cup. So I think he gets number 2. I would cut Patrick Roy. And the only reason why, 4-time Stanley Cup. So out of the 3, won the most cups. 551 wins. So again, beat Fleury. Obviously nowhere in Brodeur's class. 141's more for Brodeur. So only 66 shutouts, 3 Vezina trophies, but their numbers were actually pretty similar. Patrick and Marc Fleury, like goals against, I think it was 2.5 each. Like everything was just about dead on. So I mean, he didn't overshadow him at all versus Brodeur, who had obviously much better numbers. So those are my Those are my three. What do you got, hockey guy?
Okay, so again, you got it all wrong. Not only the pronunciations,
Hey,
but you got it.
you're freezing, buddy. You're freezing.
Wrong.
You're breaking up. What do you got? Talk to me. Oh, and I lost them.
See, I have a backup.
Uh-huh.
So he was part of the trap. Let me see. There I am twice. You're getting sandwiched now, Eric. Sandwich.
Oh, gee, the hockey guy. See, that's how you play it.
No. So, but seriously, by the eyeball test alone, you can clearly see that Patrick Waugh was the best goaltender. I think he's the best of all time. What the heck? What is going on? So Patrick Waugh.
It's a triple play. There's three of you.
So Patrick Waugh is clearly the best. Played on New Jersey and trapped so well done that nobody could score on them. So a lot of the shutouts and stuff I attribute to that. I mean, look, Brodeur, top 3 goaltenders of all time, with Patrick and Sawchuk. Throw them up in the air wherever they land, you know what I'm saying? But Patrick Waugh for me would be first. Brodeur is clearly number 2. He's a winner. That's what he does. He wins games. He wins a lot of them. He's won the most. And I'd cut Marc-Andre Fleury, and I think he's an excellent goaltender. But I don't even have him as number 3 either. I would put Hasek ahead of him, and maybe Ken Dryden and Sawchuk and all these other guys.
I just went with all-time winningest goalie, so he was actually top 3 in all-time wins.
Right, and look, like you can obviously win cups with any of these 3. Like what the least is 3 for them. Like you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. So yeah. So I would.
It's gonna be a fun show. Oh boy, there we go. Eric's running solo right now. So again, if you just there we go.
I don't know why it keeps cutting out. To be honest with you, I don't know why it keeps cutting out.
It's because I'm winning all the arguments.
No, you're clearly not. You
clearly gave me a good reason. I'm not even the hockey guy, and I won that. I don't understand how you put him ahead of Brodeur. 140 wins more.
No, you
don't win 140 more games. That's a season and a half.
Patrick Waugh won more championships. He won more championships.
I'd rather win more games. I want to win a game. We're talking one game. We're not talking about championships. If you got to win one game, these 3 goalies.
Brodeur also played a lot longer. Yeah, you can do that. That's fine. You can do that. You would lose to my team, but
all right.
But you'll beat everybody else.
There we go. There we go. All right, let's talk about another goalie. See how I segued right into that. That's what we do here at Sports Unfolded. Henry Lundqvist retired after 15 years with the New York Rangers. What's your thoughts on the player?
I mean, he is a top-notch goaltender. I don't know where I'd put him in history. Probably, I don't know, maybe top 25, top 30, maybe.
So his save percentage
was
actually better than, his save percentage is actually better than two of the three guys we just talked about.
Oh, and there's no doubt about that. Like,
And his goals against.
Just
64 shutouts. So he's right along lines with those other guys. 459 wins. One Vezina award.
Yep.
So
again, I mean, like I said, like I put him top 25, top 30 goaltenders of all time. That's pretty damn good.
20 to 30. Geez. So let me ask you this question, because you're the hockey guy. If he was on a better team, would he have won some Stanley Cups?
Absolutely.
So the team he was with is what hurt him, ultimately.
The Rangers have basically sucked most of his career.
Yeah. What did they? Last time they won was in the 90s, correct? With Messier?
Yeah, with Mark Messier.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? That's a long time.
No,
for a New York team.
Above the Rangers.
I mean, it's not the Knicks.
Organization.
Yeah, it's not the Knicks, but I mean, it's not much better. I think the Knicks are in the 70s the last time they won.
No, it's not. Yeah. Yeah. And I think they're going to have another season this year.
Hey, here we go. Wait for the NBA prediction show, which we haven't discussed yet.
No, I'm talking about the Rangers.
And our NHL prediction. Oh, okay. All right. We'll see. We'll have to see. We'll have to have an NHL preview show, and we'll discuss.
Well, yeah.
So let's move on to some NBA action here. The Cleveland Cavaliers have acquired Lauri Markkanen from the Chicago Bulls. It's a 4-year, $67 million deal. It was a 3-team deal. So, again, Portland Trailblazers are actually involved in this.
No.
And Larry Nance Jr. goes to the Portland Trailblazers, and Derek Jones Jr. goes to the Cavs. Of the three teams, what do you think of the trade and who made out?
I don't know. Like, really? Maybe the Bulls, they got rid of a bigger contract that really isn't worth it.
Yeah, so we talked about the Bulls, what they did in the offseason, with some of the acquisitions. So, I mean, they look good. I don't know, honestly. It's still baffling to me what Cleveland's doing. They literally Markkanen's 7 foot. He's a power forward. They picked up Evan Mobley in the draft, who's a 7-footer, and they re-signed Jared Allen, who's a 7-footer. They all play power forward and center. What are you doing? You can't put all three of these guys on the floor at the same time.
No, you can't. And again, it's like here's an organization that really has no direction. And we say this, it seems like it's the same that just keeps squandering and squandering and squandering all the talent they collect and never mounts. This is the same in Buffalo in hockey. It's the same, in what we're going to see in Jacksonville. They're going to squander. It's the same teams. We talk about Jet, this.
Hey, we can't get one show without a Jets shot.
No,
one
I can't.
show without a Jets.
You can't.
You can't do it. You can't do it.
No.
So the thing, Larry Nance Jr., 7 seasons, 8.3 points per game, 6.7 rebounds. But this is an upgrade for Portland. I know they're trying to keep Dame Lillard. I don't know if that's enough either. I think Dame still is going to want out. Like Nance Jr., if that's the best guy you're bringing in, is that enough to keep Dame happy and want him to stay in Portland? Did I lose you, Ron? Are you there, bud? I lost Ron again. So how I look at it is Larry Nance Jr. is not enough of an upgrade to want to keep Dame Lillard. That's my opinion. I think I lost Ron again. And that look of the frozen. What are we talking about here? I love it. That was
I
a great
know.
phrase.
I don't
That
know
was a
what the
great phrase.
problem is, Eric. I don't know what the problem is. I have complete bars on my internet. The internet it's just Restream is just doesn't want me to share.
And he's out again. Gone. What a show tonight. Gone. 7 months in.
You know what it is? I'm going to tell you what it is. It's because of those pipe bomb comments that we made
On the wrestling den.
on the wrestling den.
Yeah. Big Brother's
And
watching
now
you now.
Big Brother is keep me quiet. You can't keep me.
Yeah,
They don't understand. It's a wrestling thing.
So the funny thing is, those gentlemen didn't show up as they promised. So I guess we won that round as well. So another victory for Sports Unfolded.
They can't.
I don't need a belt. Ron, we don't need a belt. We're undisputed.
No.
Podcast champions every week versus the wrestling den. The shot's been taken.
Yeah.
So we were discussing Larry Nance Jr. Do you think it's enough to keep Dame Lillard?
Yeah. No. I think it's all over now. And I think
I'm going to lose you again. Yep, lost you again, buddy.
Yep. Come on, big brother. Let's go. Let's bring it.
All right, let's discuss. I don't know if you're still on there. The Bucks signed a 3-year extension with Mike Budenholzer to stay as their head coach after their championship season. Do you think this gives the Bucks enough chance to repeat? Does this help them in their repeat quest?
Well, I mean, what did they lose, really? They haven't really lost anything. So I would think that they're probably going to add something as well to assure that they go back. So I think keeping him is big because.
So lost you again. I'll just go. Budenholzer, 2-time Coach of the Year. Actually with the Bucks. So everybody forgets to sit in Atlanta, and he actually did a really good job in Atlanta. But with the Bucks, he's got 162 wins, 71% winning percentage, almost 65% in the playoffs. So if you think about what he brought from a winning standpoint to that organization, it's huge. I think this helps them. And they've got Giannis locked up for the same amount of time. So you're talking about keeping the 2 core pieces together for this entire run for the next few years. I think the Bucks did a great job, re-signing them or actually extending the contract. This definitely could help them repeat. I mean, there's going to be some tough teams in the East. We've talked about Miami and what they've done. I think Atlanta, the Hawks take another step. Trae Young showed that he's a superstar in this league, and he can carry a team semi to Steph Curry, and what Steph Curry did with the Golden State Warriors this past season, even with all their injuries. So it might not be as easy a ride, but Giannis proved that he's a legitimate MVP, a legitimate superstar in this league. That's going to be huge. Keeping your coach now that he's comfortable with, that helped them win, that's huge. It's a really good chance that we see the Bucks again in the finals. That's going to be interesting to see how that all pans out. I think I've lost my co-host. He's probably working on some with his technical difficulties. So I'm just going to discuss that you can follow us on Sports Unfolded at Facebook and Twitter. You can follow Sports_Unfolded on Instagram. You can follow us on Twitch, Rhode Island Broadcasting, and also on T-Smooth 73. Podcast on Anchor, Google, and Spotify. And we're live every Friday night at 6 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and then at a later time on Twitch. So a lot of different ways to watch Sports Unfolded. To follow us, we post on several different sites, groups, so you get to vote and cast some opinions on what you feel we're going to discuss. So a lot of different ways that you can actually check in with Sports Unfolded. Trying to see if we can get Ron back there. Not having any luck. Obviously, as usual, I won all these arguments tonight, so I just feel like he decided to check out and supposed to prove it yet again. I don't know what's going on. I haven't heard from him. 36 minutes in here. And I'm solo. Let's talk about a little bit of the New England Patriots here as I'm waiting. So a lot going on with New England Patriots in their roster. So we're going to have to see what this Stephon Gilmore situation becomes. But you got to look at a lot of different things that has happened in this process. Last season, they gave him, a bump to try to keep him happy, and then this season comes back, and we're right back in the same boat. So I don't know at what point they decide to trade Stephon Gilmore, but it's starting to look to me that that's going to be the easiest solution to the situation. I can't see them giving him more money for this season, knowing that he's a free agent after next season. And I'm not sure at 31 years old, starting quarterback, you want to give him a 3-4 year extension that puts him, into his mid-30s, which as cornerbacks go, not exactly what you want. I'm not sure he can play the safety role. So it'd be interesting to see how that pans out for the New England Patriots. They do have a tendency to get rid of players, even at, their peaks. We saw that with Chandler Jones. And see what he did with Arizona, but again, just wasn't fitting what their model is from a financial standpoint, and they ended up, getting rid of him. So I think we could see the end of Stephon Gilmore era in New England, which, again, we've discussed. Does that still make them a playoff team? I think so. Super Bowl contenders? Absolutely not. You're going to need that shutdown corner. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all pans out. So we're having some technical difficulties. Once again, if you're joining us, we're live on Rhode Island Broadcasting. We're on every Friday night at 6 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. You can also watch us at a later date on Twitch. Follow us on social media at Sports Unfolded on Facebook and Twitter, at Broadcasting RI on Twitter, Sports_Unfolded on Instagram, and our podcast on Anchor, Google, and Spotify. So a lot of different ways to follow us, watch us, listen to us. We do have a big show coming up on September 7th at 7 p.m. We will be doing our NFL preview show where we're going to break down every single division, every single team, give our predictions, our top 10 quarterbacks. We will be joined by Kenny, formerly of the Wrestling Den. So we're excited to have Kenny back on Sports Unfolded and Rhode Island Broadcasting. So we're looking forward to that as well. A lot of excitement around that. We're in talks right now to do an NBA preview show and also an NHL preview show. So we'll see how the NFL goes, and if it all goes well, we'll do the others. But I'm looking forward to seeing how this NFL preview show goes, because there's a lot of interesting storylines that, as I'm doing my research, starting to see a lot of questions, alongside with, can the Dallas Cowboys actually win the division? How about get back to the Super Bowl? Is this the year? Is that going to stay healthy? Probably not. Does that hurt their chances? Absolutely, right? So a lot of different storylines. And which division is probably the weirdest division? AFC East. New England made a lot of moves. Miami's, still an up-and-coming team. Are they going to take that next step? Buffalo looks like the team to beat.
But that division's wide open now. We saw last year with the NFC East, no team actually went over 500. 6-10 won the division. Washington, are they better with Fitzpatrick? Fitzmagic, is that enough to help them become a 500 team or better? Does that get the Giants with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley coming back, and they signed Galladay? Is that offense going to be able to do enough to help that defense to maybe get them? And we just talked about it. Dallas this week. I think Philly's a train wreck.
They're not in it. But a lot of different storylines that we're going to be discussing on that NFL preview show. Tampa Bay, are they going to repeat? Can they repeat? What's going to be the hurdle for them to repeat? Is it injuries? Is it just complacency and winning a championship and feel like, they don't have to prove as much? The guy at, behind center isn't going to feel that, but we'll have to see if he can motivate the rest of the team to have that same type of attitude. And he's back. He's back. Three-peat. Tampa will three-peat. They've got a two-peat first, so they repeat before they three-peat. They're signing Michael Jordan to baseball. Are we talking the Tampa Bay Rays? I don't know if he could play football anymore or basketball for that matter at his age, but you never know. The Wrestling Den has joined us finally after I already took my shots at him. I just assumed you guys backed out and repeated. They don't need a two-peat. Two-peat. I love it. About to have to. Maybe we got to put Rick on. Let's put Rick on Sports Unfolded, Ron. I need a co-host there. Are you back?
Are you there?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Is there an echo?
There is. It's like a bird chirping in the background. I love it. Michael could play any sport. Oh, here we go with the sandwich again. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. We got buzzing. OJ would slash the prices in half on how much it would take to afford me to be on your show. Now he's trying to use our lines. Hey, you can't use our lines. You got no audio. Ron. You can't use what we used yesterday, Rick. That ain't going to work, brother. You're going to have to come with more than that. Wow. That's a nice shot there. I like it. You know what? There's nothing wrong with a nice sandwich every so often. You know what? I've put on a little weight. I know, I've been eating some carbs again, but we'll get back on that grind. No carbs. Hey, everybody has their own lifestyle and choices, and we're accepting of that. And you should be too. I got no audio from you. You're killing me today. You're killing me tonight. Episode 28. We got Silent Bob going. And I feel like I'm on Clerks. I'm watching. This is Clerks 3, the next version. We just got Silent Bob there. I'll just have you nod if you agree with what I'm saying, okay? You don't like Paul Walker jokers. All right. We'll make sure that we don't make any Paul Walker references. I mean, it's probably too fast and too furious for us to do that. So I'd probably stay away from that. Bill Murray and Space Jams 2. I think Ron should actually see if LeBron would do Space Jams 3, and he could just be the commentator during the entire movie and just say how much LeBron sucks, so that way we don't boost LeBron's ego anymore. So I think that might be it. Clerks 3, they're finally close. They are. Video stores near you. Yes. Once worked at a video store, so I'm kind of, bring it back, baby. We need video. We need VHS again. Bring it back. They bring it back. They brought back vinyl, right? We got vinyl records. Bring back VHS. Who doesn't want VHS? Obviously, that guy loves VHS. MD Shocker. I don't know who that is, but stats are there. The GOAT. I don't know about that. He lost more finals than he won. I can't consider him a GOAT when you do that. He's no Tom Brady. Tom Brady won 7 out of 10. I think LeBron's 4 out of 10. A little bit of a difference. But, right? I mean, that's not right. Follow Sports Unfolded at Sports Unfolded, Facebook, YouTube. A lot of different ways to follow us. At Twitter. I need some Twitter followers. Where's my Twitter followers out there? I don't got any Twitter followers. Got a giant R on my screen right now. I'm debating with R right now. Wow. Taking some shots. Rick, I'm about to send you this link. I need some. I'm going to send you this link. Let's see. Let's get you on here. You. Let's see if we get. It's trying to get Rick on here too. I need another body. I can't. You got no audio still, Ron. No audio.
How about now?
Now I got audio.
All right. So I'm gonna do something daring.
Oh boy, here we go.
So I'm hoping logging into my phone will keep this going, and I'm going to refresh the laptop because
all right.
Because
we're signing off.
I can't use the mouse or anything for some reason. It's like flashing all over the place, and I can't get back into it. So, but I'm here, so let's talk and let's hope. That's all I can say.
All right, let's discuss some Major League Baseball.
Yep.
And the Mets are getting back 2 of their aces soon, and Jacob deGrom and Noah Syndergaard. So Syndergaard, I guess, started to throw some pitches off the mound. Is it too late for them to make a difference for the team's playoff chances?
No, not for the playoff chances. I think the division is pretty much gone. But I think they still have a shot in the playoffs. It's going to be hard because now they have to climb over a couple of teams and a couple of good teams. Namely, right now it is San Diego and Cincinnati, I believe, that are in the wild card spots.
That is
and
correct.
You still have to climb over Philadelphia too, so that's going to make it really difficult. And I don't know if that's going to be enough. But they were certainly missing, a lot with them out. So.
Yeah, and I'm not sure when they're coming back. So I think they're 7 games out right now. They've got a lot of hurdles to overcome. And then it'd be interesting to see. I mean, deGrom has missed a lot of time. He's played in 15 games this season. He's 7-2 with a 1.0 ERA. So you talk about his numbers are phenomenal. Just can't stay healthy. Syndergaard hasn't pitched since 2020 when he got Tommy John surgery in March of 2020. So you think about the fact that he's been out over a year now. So there's a lot going on when it comes to those two. There he is. Slick Rick, the ruler. And I got no audio from you either, Rick. No audio, Rick.
Well, he doesn't have much to say anyway, so.
Can't hear you, brother.
I don't know what is going on tonight.
Just keep eating your jelly beans. I got no audio.
I think maybe the wrestling den tried to sabotage us today.
You have no audio. I can't with this guy. I can't with it. You guys tonight are absolutely killing me.
It's not my fault. I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
Big brother.
Big brother watching.
Just on the loose. Okay, you need to stop chatting in there because it's blocking everything and I can't control the chat.
All right. All right, let's talk about the wild card race here. So the AL wild card currently got the Yankees are 3 games up. Red Sox are holding that spot 2.5 over the A's. The Mariners are 3.5 back, and the Blue Jays are 5.5 back. A's lost 3 spots in the last week since last week's show. The Mariners actually lost half a spot, and then the Blue Jays lost a full spot. So it's starting to look like the Yankees, Red Sox might be this play-in game, which would be really an interesting scenario. If you're talking about the best rivalry in all of sports, which we did a pick and roll one time, Boston, New York is one of the top 5, if not one of the best of all time. And now you're talking about a 1-game playoff to get into the playoffs. Imagine which team knocks which out, how these fans are going to react to that.
Yeah, it's oh my God, that would probably be the biggest game of the year that everybody will be watching. And so if that happens, it is great for Major League Baseball, but bad for one of those cities.
And you think about Major League Baseball, they're going to be ecstatic with it. Like you couldn't ask for a better play-in game than, the Yankees, Red Sox. Like this should be hyped up to the point where it's going to, like, it's a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like I would be interested to see how the fans would react to that. I think Major League Baseball wants that as well. What about in the NL, where you got the Dodgers are 11.5 games up in that first spot?
Oh, I know. I was looking at that and I was laughing. I was like, wow, it's that bad. Like San Francisco and LA are just running away with the
lead. Think about it, right? They're in the wild card. San Francisco is still better than the Dodgers, and the Dodgers are 11.5 games up for the wild card spot. The Reds
they would literally be winning any division other than the one they're in.
Yeah, the Reds are in the second spot because the Padres dropped 3 games in a week and now 2 back, and the Cardinals dropped another game, so they're 4.5 back. The Reds are a sneaky team. Like, does anybody expect the Reds when this whole thing started?
No. And I don't think.
You can't hear me?
No, we can hear you.
Yeah, you can.
That's what he said.
You can hear me.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I know you can. What am I missing? We're talking. What are we talking? Cardinals?
Baseball. Yes.
Oh, Cincinnati. Mark McGwire, dude. Mark McGwire, baby.
Oh my God! Really? You know he retired.
Let's just talk all favorite. Well, he had no choice, dude. After he got caught, what else are you gonna do? Oh yeah, sure, guys. I'll be the ball boy.
He's a coach now. He's actually a hitting coach.
Oh, is he? So he's teaching everybody how to do steroids.
Exactly, but that's all right. Hey, he's doing it better than anybody else.
We should just make a team that's all guys that used to do steroids.
Get caught?
You want to do a pick and roll of all the top 5 steroids of all time?
Barry Bonds is like number 1, dude.
Roger Clemens.
Sammy Sosa is questionable.
Sosa?
Uh-huh.
Got to throw David Ortiz in there.
Oh, dude. Big Poppy?
Big Poppy.
Mark McGwire for sure.
McGwire, I mean.
We just knocked out a top 5 in 2 seconds.
Rafael
on the rest of them, this would have taken me 2 hours to do it.
Palmeiro, who went right in front of the set, said he didn't do it and then got caught.
How about famous number 24?
Favorite 24s again. We're not doing that again. We're not doing that again.
Wait, we can do favorite 28s. Mark McGwire's 28. What more perfect now?
28?
No, it was 25.
What are you eating, Rick?
These new Skittle gummies, dude.
Okay, let's get back to the show. Rick, I'm going to boot you.
Why?
Rick, thank you for joining.
I just made it entertaining, and then you're going to boot me now? Like, no, don't you want to be like number 1 this week, or you want us to just be number 1?
We're a legitimate show.
Go follow their better show, which is on Thursdays at 7 p.m. We're called The Wrestling Den.
The Wrestling Den. Thank you for your
Sports Fulham. Thank you, guys. I'll see you next week.
This is the chaos that they have on their show, but we actually are legitimate. So
do the Padres have enough to get at least into that second spot with the Reds?
The Padres can do that, and I think they probably will. I don't see the Reds holding on to this spot.
Right, it's amazing. Like, what do you? I mean, But they do have in the National League. I think it's Castillas or because I don't even know the guy's name. But he's leading the league in batting average.
Yeah, they got a good team. I just don't think that they have the horses on the mound that can hold on to this spot. You know, I mean, you're going to have San Diego, Philadelphia, the Mets are going to be chasing you down. And there's only so much you can hold off all of those teams. You know, the benefit that the Cincinnati Reds has is that Philadelphia and Mets are going to beat each other up in their division. And San Diego still has to play a lot of games against, you know, the Dodgers and the Giants.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's about the only advantage that Cincinnati has. And that's not. It's still going to be. It's still going to be a difficult road for the Reds.
So once again, if you're joining us, we're live on Rhode Island Broadcasting. We're on every Friday night at 6 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Follow us at a later time on Twitch on Rhode Island Broadcasting, at Sports Unfold on Facebook and Twitter, and at Broadcasting RI on Twitter, Sports_Unfolded on Instagram, and then podcasts on Anchor, Google, and Spotify. So a lot of different ways to watch, follow, contact us on our pages. So continue to drive it. I appreciate all the fans that are out there. Our other show that we do Thursday nights, the Wrestling Den with Rick and Nick. So they're on at 7 p.m. on Rhode Island Broadcasting, Sports Unfolded as well. Let's do our, you know what time it is, baby.
Sure. What is it, Face Off?
Pick and roll, baby. Pick and roll.
Oh, pick and roll.
Pick and roll, my friend.
Pick and roll. See, I feel like I missed half the show.
I ran solo for a little bit, buddy. I felt like, Justin Timberlake leaving in sync for a minute.
Well, I'll tell you, this is nothing more than Big Brother because I'm looking at all the things that I have going on, and nothing is indicating that it went out. All green bars here, all green bars there, all the bars are on the phone.
Big Brother, you guys started.
It's unexplainable.
You guys started it yesterday. So what we're doing on our pick and roll is we're going to rank these 5 positions on the New England Patriots from worst to best. And basically those positions we're gonna decide on are the quarterback, running back, offensive line, linebackers, and I said cornerback, but we'll talk secondary in how we would rank them. So currently,
and this is from worst to best.
Worst, yes.
So number 1 will be the worst. Number 5 will be the best.
No, 5 would be the worst. Then the number 1 would be the best position on the team.
Okay.
All right. So at number 5, I had the secondaries. If you think about Agent Gilmore, might not even re-sign McCourty, who's getting older. I'm still not 100% sold on J.C. Jackson, and if he can be a number 1, if Gilmore's not there, I think this is the worst position on the team currently. At number 4, quarterback. Cam and Jones are about the same. I haven't seen enough from either one of them to make me feel any better about that position. Cam shows a little more understanding of the offense this year. Mac Jones, again, we can see the promise of what he's going to bring. But again, is it enough to keep this team in contention? I think Jones will be a year away before we actually see him. At number 3, I had the offensive line. I like a lot of these guys, a lot of plug and plays. They got, Andrews who can plug and play anywhere. Isaiah Wynn, who could be a very good tackle, but he can't stay healthy. So a lot of different areas of this that can go either way. But there's not a number 1 star, not one top guy that you go, okay, that guy's the man, and that's going to carry the line. A lot of good. They're solid all the way around. So they're kind of middle of the ground for me. At number 2, I had running back. I like Harris. I think he's going to be very good. Damian Harris. Ramon Stevenson has shown a lot of promise in the preseason. But again, regular season, preseason, let's see what the difference is there. They still have James White out of the backfield if they utilize him enough. And then their sleeper, J.J. Taylor. We saw a lot from him in this preseason. I think that J.J. Taylor is going to be the guy that can be that sleeper for them, that can really make some plays when they need it. So it'd be interesting. So at number one, that leaves the linebacking core. You're talking about Hightower back, Judon. I love that signing. That guy's going to be amazing for this team. And then bringing back Van Noy. I love this linebacking crew. Sleeper as well. Josh Uche, the second round pick from last year. That kid's going to be a stud this year. A lot of blitzing from him. I think they're going to utilize him more. Their number one position on this team, linebackers. That's my pick and roll.
Well, you did a pretty decent job.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
You got 3 out of 5 correct.
3 out of 5. Let me find out the 2 I got wrong. Go ahead.
Okay, so number 5 indeed is the cornerback position. The defensive back position, I should say. And especially if they do not bring Gilmore back, which is looking more and more like that's going to be the case. And that is why they are at number 5. If they bring Gilmore back, then it moves up to number 4. Number 4, I have the quarterback position. Look, it's promising, but Mac Jones is a rookie. Cam is past his prime.
Is Cam, yeah. Okay.
So you're looking at a position that isn't ready yet. Mac Jones, I believe, will play this year and will start this year at some point, whether it's week 1, 10. I don't know. He's going to start at some point this year. But it's still not ready. And until we see the growth for Mac Jones, we're not going to know where we're going to be at that position. Number 3, I have the running backs. And I really like the running backs on this team, and being able to get rid of Sony Michel is saying a lot about this running back group. You mentioned the names, and J.J. Taylor really stood out for me, especially in these preseason games, especially the last one. Harris, and of course White, which we know what we're going to get with White. Like, he's very capable. That third down back, I like him there.
Absolutely.
But I think a lot of the success of the running backs is because of the play of the offensive line. Now, you said they were solid, no stars, and absolutely right. But they are so solid and so consistent on what they do. It's creating holes for those running backs to get those big plays. So that's why I put the offensive line in front of the running backs.
Which that's what they do. They go in front of the running backs. So very good,
right.
Man. I like the way you did that.
Exactly. And then number 1, it wasn't even close. In my book, the linebackers are just phenomenal on this team. The only question is whether Hightower stays healthy. That's the question.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
But that's where I have them. And flip-flopping, the running backs and the offensive line, I mean, to me, I think they go hand in hand.
I agree. No, so, I like your theory on the offensive line. It makes sense. So, yeah, I could see it going either way. Right. I do want to say we did post recently about the NFL numbers on one of our face-offs. And it was so nice to see a linebacker Judon, number 9, and Bentley at number 8. I loved seeing it. By far one of my favorite things. Can we please put these numbers back where they belong? Okay? It looks ridiculous. Ridiculous.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It does.
If you haven't seen the episode of Face Off, you need to go see that episode. So get on the YouTube channel and go look at that. It's episode number 5, I believe. And
yes.
It was a great episode. It was a great episode. Eric almost lost it. He almost lost it.
So that brings us to our next face-off this week. And our face-off's about which AL player should win MVP this season, Shohei Ohtani or Vlad Guerrero Jr. So one of us has to be for Ohtani. One of us has to be for Guerrero. So I know Rick's out there at Wrestling Den. Do you have any who should be for Ohtani? We'll go with Ohtani. Let's see if we can get Rick to chime in. You know, he had a lot to say with his jelly beans. Chaco Guerrero Jr. Chavo. I don't even. Chavo is. I can't. Rick. All right. I'll go with Ron for Guerrero. Ron, you're for Guerrero.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna go first here. And so I look at it this way. Ohtani, 2 different positions. So it's very difficult. If you go to look up his numbers, all that comes up usually is the batting. You have to research the fact that he's pitching as well. He's 8-1 as a pitcher with a 3 ERA, 127 strikeouts. Eric, you're for Guerrero. I can't. I just already started with Ohtani. I'm going with Ohtani now. But then you add in the fact that he's got 41 home runs and 89 RBIs, and those are top 2. He's the number 1 home run hitter in the AL, and I think he's 3rd or 4th in RBIs. So how does this guy not win the MVP? It's a slam dunk. I can't see it any other way.
Well, it's simple, Eric, when you really think about it. The Angels are not a contender.
Okay.
So how many times are we going to see an Angel win MVP only to just basically do nothing with the team? The team is just
shots at Mike Trout.
It does. Yes,
safe with
Mike Trout. Yes, it's all great. You can get all the numbers you want, but if you're not getting to the playoffs, it's pointless.
Good point, Rick.
At least Toronto is in the mix. They can get there. So seeing, Junior mashing the ball everywhere, he is clearly the best hitter in the American League right now. Maybe one exception, but I don't even think that's it. Like he's the home runs, the RBIs, the hits, the clutch hits. This guy always seems to come up with a big hit at the right time, right place. He is driving the Toronto Blue Jays trying to get that wild card, and they're only 4 games out, 6 games out,
5.5.
So
time.
So like they're right there, and we know what could happen.
So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how the voters factor in. Do they factor in the Ohtani, 2 different positions? If not, if you look at, to your point, Guerrero across the board from a batting standpoint, his numbers are amazing. I mean, he's in the top 4 in 5 of the top categories. Yeah. Batting average, home runs, RBIs, and hits. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
And
it's a tough goal, right? But do you count that ERA and the 8 wins as a pitcher and 127 strikeouts? It's going to be a very tough one. Clearly, I won that.
The wins for me aren't enough. The wins aren't enough.
Ohtani, clearly. Name another pitcher that's hit 41 home runs this season.
Well, I know this is. Well, hey, we talked about this before.
I win again.
No, you didn't win because the Angels can't make the playoffs.
Eddie Guerrero. Yes, good call, buddy. WWE champion. We got a wrestling reference in there. Nice job, Rick. Let's go on to our predictions. So I won last week 2-0. I called the Pacquiao fight. Told you, as usual, I'm never wrong. Predictions. I always win the predictions.
Because I go with the heart.
I always win everything. And predictions just
the only thing you win is
just prove it. Predictions prove it that I win everything.
Predictions. I win all the other stuff, and you know it.
So on 8/29,
like 3 total wins on everything else.
8/29, the Patriots at the Giants, the last preseason game.
Patriots.
All right.
Because Mac Jones is probably going to start, so I would think that he's going to play pretty well.
Yeah, well, I'll agree with you that I can't go against the Pats. It's not in my nature. Let's 8/27. The Yankees at Oakland, 3-game set. Yankees are hot right now, 12-game winning streak.
They're in Oakland?
In Oakland for a 3-game set.
I'm going Oakland.
So as much as it's going to pay me, I'm going to agree with you. They don't play well in Oakland. No matter how good their teams are, they don't play well in Oakland. This might be the easiest.
Because they can't hit the deep ball there. They just
They'll
hit him foul.
We'll see. We'll see. How about on 8:30? The Brewers at the San Francisco Giants. It's a 4-game set. You just don't like Milwaukee. You haven't liked the Brewers the entire season. You just don't believe it. They're like the third best record in baseball, third, fourth best record in baseball. They're legitimate.
It's a 4-game series?
4 games. He's going to go split. I can already tell. Brewers. Rick's calling the Brewers. Brew Crew. Think I lost Ron again. Oh, there you go. Who'd you pick? Who'd you pick? Type it, man. Type it. I don't care. Type it. We're almost done.
Split 2-2.
2-2. All right, I'm going Giants. I just think they've been a much better team. All right. If you enjoyed our show, next week we will break down the Patriots preseason game. We'll also continue to go over the Major League Baseball wild card race.
Big Brother's in it again.
And this face-off, are you ready for next week's face-off? Bird versus Paul Pierce.
For what?
Face-off. More iconic to the Boston Celtics.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
The truth, baby.
No, the truth is that he couldn't hold his freaking jock.
Wow. Woo! We'll have to see. All right. Also, don't forget to tune in.
Sorry, Brewers win the best of all time.
7th of September, our NFL preview show. And also, don't forget to tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. to watch the Wrestling Den with Rick and Nick. As we do our final thoughts every week, it doesn't necessarily have to be sports related. It could be about anything going on in the world today. I am first today. So my final thought is actually on Manny Pacquiao in his great career. So he's 62-7-4 all time. But at age 42, suffered a loss on Saturday night against Ugas. And I don't know. It's not clear if he'll return to the boxing ring. But if you think about from a boxing standpoint, one of the best boxers of all time, regardless of who he fought, always one of the better fights in any time. You paid for these fights, pay-per-view. You went out to see Manny Pacquiao. You were getting a show. He was going to put on a fight. He never really lost a fight. He never came into a ring and didn't have a fight. So I wish Manny well, regardless of what he decides. I know they asked him after the fight if this was going to be it for him, and he wasn't clear. He said after some rest, he'll make a decision. But Manny Pacquiao is still one of my favorite boxers of all time. I hope that we get a chance to see him again. But if not, you know what? He still went out, and it was, a decision. It wasn't even like he got knocked out. He fought his way to the very end. So Manny Pacquiao, great career if that was it. But appreciate all the great fights all time. So one of the best ever to do. And that's my final thought.
Very good. Well said, Eric. My final thought is right along that retirement line, and that is the King, Lundqvist. Yeah, well, I mean, he was like, we were just talking about it, top 25, top 30 goaltenders of all time. And that has actually pretty good in retrospect of his career. The team didn't, and I think I got lost.
No, you're still there.
Okay. Oh,
I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right. So the team didn't do him justice by giving him a good team pretty much his whole career. They just didn't do enough. And, a great goaltender, in order to be great, has to get a team that can win a Stanley Cup. And in his case, he didn't get that team around him, but it didn't take away of how good he really was. I was not a fan of the Rangers, but I was always a fan of him because the way he played it. He wasn't flashy, but he would always come up with that big save, when he needed to, and he won a lot of games. He just
No, yep. Think I lost you again, but All right, we're going to call it a night. Again, we've had some technical difficulties. Do apologize. Ron, as always, thank you for joining. It's been a great show. Thank you. Appreciate it, Rick. Appreciate the join. Don't forget to check out the Wrestling Den this Thursday at 7 p.m.-ish. And follow Sports Unfolded at Sports Unfolded on Facebook, Twitter. Check us out on Facebook, on YouTube. Guys, have a great night. Eric and Ron signing off. Fans out there, thank you for joining. Good night.